The coffee tasted like burnt rubber and regret, a flavor profile Mara had perfected over 11 years of marriage. Elias Throne swirled the dark sludge in his ceramic mug. Hand thrown, slightly lopsided. A birthday gift from Alara when she was 5. And watched the light fracture through the floor-to-ceiling windows of the glass house. Below, Lake Zurich lay flat and Mercury smooth, reflecting the brutalist geometry of the villa and the gray, heavy sky. The property sat on the Zurichberg, like a secret kept in plain sight. A Faraday cage, wrapped in Swiss minimalism, smart glass walls that opacified on a whisper, heating coils embedded in the slate floors. It was a fortress disguised as an architectural digest spread. Elias loved it with a quiet, desperate ferocity. It was the only structure in his life that had never shifted, never lied, never worn a second skin. He heard her before he saw her. The rhythmic thud-thud hiss of her gait. Left leg, right leg, the prosthetic hip she'd refused to replace with anything fancier than titanium and carbon fiber. She moved with the economy of a predator conserving energy, or a mother conserving patience. "You're staring at the lake again," Mara said. Her voice was low, uncaffeinated, vibrating in the chest rather than the throat. She wore a charcoal cashmere sweater that cost more than his first car, sleeves pushed to her elbows, revealing the faint white spiderweb of a knife scar on her left forearm. "A kitchen accident," she'd said. "A training accident," his imagination insisted. "I'm monitoring the structural integrity of the view," Elias replied, not turning. "Making sure the Alps haven't migrated overnight. They're stubborn things, Alps." She passed him, the scent of cold rain, expensive moisturizer, and gun oil. Hops, no. 9. Distinct, sharp, trailing in her wake. She never wore perfume. She wore the residue of her life. He inhaled it like a sacramental incense. She stopped at the Maillel machine, the only appliance in the kitchen that looked like it belonged in a laboratory. She didn't press a button. She interfaced with it, a precise tamp, a timed pull. The crema bloomed, dark and tiger-striped. Perfection. She made 1 cup for herself, black, scalding. She made a second, half milk, 1 sugar, stirred exactly 7 times counterclockwise, and set it on the island beside his cold rubber sludge. "Drink the good one," she commanded softly, sliding the fresh cup toward his left hand. "The other one is for the sink." Elias smiled, a genuine crinkling at the corners of his eyes. "You're enabling my caffeine dependency. I'm enabling your survival." She leaned against the counter, mug cradled in both hands, watching him over the rim. The morning light caught the heterochromia in her irises. Left eye brown, right eye a startling pale green. "A genetic quirk," the file said. "A cradle signature." The truth whispered. "Elara's portrait is on the fridge. New development. You should see it." Elias took a sip of the real coffee. "Heaven." "Let me guess. The dog has 3 tails?" "Better. I have 6 fingers on my left hand." He froze, mug halfway to lips. "6? For holding more hands, Papa," she quoted, her face impassive, though a muscle in her jaw twitched. "She told the nanny it's so she can hold mine, Kai's, Aracelia's, and yours all at once, and 1 spare. For the man who brings the treats." "The treat man," Elias repeated, the absurdity settling warm in his chest. "High clearance, dangerous position. She's 7. Elias. She assigns security clearances based on snack logistics. It's the most efficient bureaucracy I've ever seen. He laughed then. A low rumble. Put it on the fridge, next to the eviction notice from the library board. Already magnetized. She pushed off the counter. I have a conference in Bern. 2 nights. The Foundation for Comparative Linguistics. Keynote on Semitic loanwords in Alpine dialects. Thrilling stuff. Try not to let the floorboards rot while I'm gone. I'll sand them down. Varnish. Maybe find a skeleton or 2. Her expression flickered. There and gone. A micro-expression of something sharp and terrified, masked by amusement. Don't dig too deep, Habai. The Foundation is... settles. She kissed his cheek. Dry lips, smell of rain and metal. I love the house. I love the life. I love you. In that order of increasing importance. Go save the dialects, Mara. Go archive the manuscripts, Elias. She left. Whoa, the smart glass front door whispered shut. The electronic locks engaged with a sound like a tomb ceiling. Thunk, click, hiss. Elias waited for the gravel to crunch under the tires of the Audi K7, waited for the engine note to fade into the ambient hum of the forest. He counted to 60, then 120. The protocol, the ritual. He set the coffee down, crossed the living room, bare feet silent on heated slate, entered his study. The room was a womb of paper and vellum. Floor-to-ceiling shelves held incunabula, palimpsests, cuneiform tablets in climate-controlled cases. His desk, a massive slab of reclaimed bog oak, sat centered on the rug. But the floor had been bothering him. A warp in the third board from the desk, a subtle buckle, visible only in the raking morning light, palpable only to a man who spent his life feeling the texture of time. Water damage, settling foundation, the archivist's curse, the inability to ignore an anomaly. He knelt, pulled the Japanese pull saw from his tool roll. The kerf was thin, respectful. He cut the tongue and groove joints, levered the board up with a paint scraper. Dust motes danced in the beam of his headlamp. No pipes, no wires, just a hollowed cavity in the concrete subfloor, lined with lead sheeting. A Faraday pocket inside a Faraday cage. Inside lay a pelican case, micro, watertight, pressure equalization, valve unpressed. Elias's heart did not race. His hands did not tremble. The archivist took over. The man who cataloged the Dead Sea Scrolls fragments for a shadowy Zurich consortium, who authenticated the Gospel of Judas for a Saudi prince, who knew that history was written by the victors but preserved by the obsessive. He unclasped the latches. The seal broke with a sigh of equalizing pressure. Inside, nestled in anti-static foam, a passport. Singular, thick, battered. The cover was a nondescript, diplomatic red. No country crest, just the biometric symbol at the bottom. A rectangle bisected by a circle. The International Civil Aviation Organization standard. But the RFID chip embedded in the back cover. Elias had a reader on his desk. He knew the encryption standards. This wasn't standard. He opened the cover. Page 1. Data page. Polycarbonate. Dot. Laser engraved. Surname. Thorne. Given names. Mara Elizabeth. Nationality: Che, USA. Date of birth: 14 Mar 1988. Sex: F. Her face. Her heterochromatic eyes. The signature: M. Thorne. A perfect forgery. No. D. The security features: optically variable ink, micro perforations. The ghost image were flawless. State level: Swiss Federal Police level, or better. He turned the page. Visa stamps: Gao, Pyongyang, Taoisunan, 2014. Caracas, Maiquetia, 2016. Dubai, Al Maktoum, 2018. Tasco, Kyiv, Borispil, 2022. Guantanamo Bay, Leeward Point, 2023. Teachers Conference, Geneva. Yoga Retreat, Bali Doi. Art History Symposium, Vienna. Elias's fingers moved to the next biometric page. A plastic divider. Then a second data page, laminated into the booklet. Surname: Vargas. Given names: Isabella Sofia Taco. Nationality: ESP Bra. Dob. 2 Sep 1985. Dardo. Different face. Same bone structure. Same eyes. Hair dyed dark. Styled differently. Makeup altering the jawline. But the scar on the forearm, visible in the high-res UV layer, was identical. Stamps: Panama City, Cayman Islands, Luxembourg, Singapore, London. Vargas Holdings. Shell company. No, not a shell. A holding company for liquidity management. Page 3. Surname: Petrova. Given names: Katya Ivanova. Nationality: Ruscio Dotto. Dob. 1708, 1990. Blonde. Cropped hair. Harder eyes. A tattoo visible at the collarbone in the UV spectrum. Kazanskaya Bratva cipher. Stamps: Tbilisi, Moscow, Istanbul, Donetsk, Yerevan. Wet work. The stamps align with incidents: the Chechen commander, the Georgian politician, the Istanbul Bridge collapse. Page 4. Surname: Chen. Given names: Mightyite. Nationality: JNSBP. Dob. 30 Jan 1983. Glasses: Bobcut. Worn. Softer: the cyber architect alias. Stamps: Shenzhen, Tel Aviv, Tallinn. Redmond. Mountain View. Chen Cybernetics. 0 Day. Exploits: the hospital ransomware attack in Düsseldorf, Moi, Kerkire. The power grid crash in Texas. Page 5. Surname: Al Farouk. Given names: Leila Bahia. Nationality: Jor, GBR. Dob. 5 May 1987. Hijab in photo. Darker skin tone. Melanin infusion. Genetic editing. Fluent Arabic. Stamps: UK Diplomatic Service. Stamps: Amman, Riyadh, Doha, London, New York, When headquarters. Turway desktop. Al Farouk diplomacy. At asylum broker. The extraction of the Iranian nuclear scientists. The Nigerian oil minister's disappearance. 5 names. 5 distinct, legally watertight biometric identities. 5 lives lived simultaneously. In the gaps of his attention, Elias sat back on his heels. The cold concrete bit through his sweatpants. He didn't gasp. He didn't shake. He cross-referenced. He pulled his phone, air-gapped, hardened, running a custom Grafinios build. From his pocket, he didn't call Leo. He didn't call Aris. He opened his local database, the one he built for his PhD thesis on syncretic identity structures in late antiquity, repurposed for domestic intelligence. He typed Vargas Holdings. Result: Panama Papers leak. Partial. Linked to Petrova Logistics. Georgian registration. Died. Linked to Chen Cybernetics. Singapore Shell. Linked to Al Farouk Diplomacy. UK LLP. Central Node. The Pentacle. 5 fingers. 1 fist. The shell companies weren't shells. They were operational fronts. Money laundering. Vargas Toritnei. Itatot. Arms. Logistics. Petrol. Cyber. Intel. Gender. Political fixing asylum. Al Farouk. And the thumb. Thorn. The anchor. The consort. He looked at the passport again. The wear on the edges. The crease on the cover from being sat on. The faint scent of sandalwood? No, the Aldeich and gun oil. He placed the passport on the bog oak desk, centered, aligned with the edges. He took a photo with his phone, encrypted, stored locally. Then he went upstairs. He checked Elara's room. She slept, curled around a stuffed wolf, the 6-fingered drawing pinned to her corkboard. Mama, X5, Chapa, Kai, Aris, Leo. Treat man. He checked the guest room. The bed was made. Military corners. But the safe in the closet, hidden behind a false back, was open. Empty. A faint impression in the foam lining. The shape of a suppressed Sig Sauer P320 and a suppressed HK-NP7. Kai Dudut. He'd been here 3 days, Mara had said, in the guest room. He went back down to the kitchen. The good coffee was cold now. He drank it anyway. He pulled out a chair, sat, waited. The light shifted. The lake turned steel. The smart glass walls darkened automatically as the lux levels dropped. The gravel crunched at 1942. Elias didn't move. He listened to the engine cut. The door open. Wait. The thud hiss on the gravel. The pause at the door. The biometric scan. Retina, palm, weight plate. The thunk click hiss. Mara entered carrying 2 brown paper bags. Riru, diet, organic, milk. .D. Strawberries. Elara's favorite. A rotisserie chicken. A baguette. The mundane camouflage of the extraordinary. She saw the passport on the island immediately. It sat under the pendant light. A red beacon. She didn't freeze. She didn't pale. She didn't reach for a weapon. She set the bags down on the counter. Thud. Dud. Unloaded the milk into the fridge. The strawberries into a bowl. Washed them. Hulled them. Sliced them. Placed a bowl on the island. Next to the passport, she pulled a tumbler from the cupboard. Filled it with water from the tap. Daddy drank it in 3 swallows. Set the glass down. Her hands folded on the counter, flanking the red booklet. She looked at him, the brown eye warm, the green eye cold, the matriarch and the wife. Simultaneous. Superimposed. You found the insurance policy, she said. Her voice was flat, devoid of inflection. The briefing tone. Elias kept his hands on the table, visible, opened tight. Isabel, Katia, Mai, Layla. Who am I married to, Mara? All of them. She tilted her head. None of them. I am the matriarch of the Pentacle, Elias. And you are my consort, the only one who isn't an alias. The word hung in the air. Consort. Dot. Not husband. Not partner. A title. A position. The most dangerous position in the organization. The outline of his life whispered. Leo Vance is coming for you in 14 hours, she continued, ticking items off on her fingers. He thinks he's hunting me. He's actually the bait. Kai is in the guest room. He's been there 3 days. Your Uncle Eris's designed this marriage. Elara is the only reason I haven't burned the world down. She leaned forward, the cashmere stretching, the green eye dilated, the predator leaning close. Now, eat your dinner. We have a syndicate to run. Elias looked at the passport, then at the strawberries, then at her. He picked up a strawberry, dipped it in the small dish of balsamic reduction she set out silently while he wasn't looking, bit into it. Sweet. Dull. Pure. Amy. Tart. Dial. Real. What? Real. Chicken okay? He asked. Or should I order in? If we're running a syndicate, I assume the expense account covers Michelin. A crack. A flash of white teeth. The mask slipped. Just for a second. Mara dot. Just Mara. Chicken is fine. I burn the potatoes. Again. You always burn the potatoes. I have other skills. I've read the file, Elias. I know your skills. Read it again, he said quietly. You missed the footnotes. He stood up, took the rotisserie chicken from the bag, began shredding it with surgical precision. The domesticity was absurd. The stakes were existential. The romance was the only cover that mattered. 14 hours, he murmured, placing chicken on a plate. Leo, my oldest friend, coming to arrest my wife. My matriarch. He won't arrest me, she said, pulling a knife. Ceramic, non-magnetic, undetectable. From the block and beginning to slice the baguette. He'll sit in your study. He'll drink your whiskey. He'll cry a little. And you will tell him no. And if I tell him yes, she stopped slicing. The knife hovered over the crust. The green eye bored into him. Then I kill him. And I burn the glass house down. And I take Elara and we vanish into a name you don't know. And you stay here. in the ashes. The consort who chose the cage over the bird. She resumed slicing. Whack. Oh. Whack. Gah. Whack. Elias put a piece of chicken on her plate. Oh, a piece on his. Sat down. Pass the butter, he said. She slid the dish across the island. The passport sat between them. A third plate at the table. The ledger of their lives. Opened, bite, audited, unbalanced. Butter, she said. Of course. The Foundation for Comparative Linguistics pays surprisingly well for keynotes. Does the Pentacle have a dental plan? He asked, buttering his bread. Full coverage, including orthodontics for dependents. Kai has a terrible overbite. Refuses braces. Says it ruins his profile for long-range optics. Elias took a bite. Chewed. Swallowed. The chicken was dry. The bread was crusty. The strawberries were perfect. 14 hours. He repeated. 13 hours. 52 minutes. She corrected, checking a watch that didn't exist on her wrist. An internal clock. A biological metronome. He ate fast, Habby. The briefing on the Yemen pipeline squeeze is at 600. You have opinions on collateral damage. I need them before I sign the kill order on the warlord blocking the aquifer. Elias looked at the woman who held 5 passports. Commanded a global syndicate, had a lieutenant sleeping in the guest room, a spy master uncle pulling strings, an Interpol hunter for a best friend, and a daughter who drew 6-fingered mothers. He looked at the passport, the red cover, the biometric chip. He reached out, traced the gold embossing. No crest. What? Just the standard. 5 names, he said. 1 wife. 6, she whispered. You forgot Mama. He looked up. Her face was open, terrifying, beautiful. The architecture of trust, built on a fault line, reinforced with love. 0 regrets, he said. Good. Mara Thorne, Vargas, Petrova, Chen, Al-Farouk, matriarch, said. She picked up her fork. Because the appetizer is over. Now comes the main course. Outside, the Zurichberg lights flickered on, one by one, pushing back the dark. Inside the Faraday cage, the archivist ate his dinner, and the matriarch planned the war.